Hey, what's up, fam? Endeavor stands tall this week. He stands like a champion in this new chapter of My Hero Academia, chapter 190. We get to see Endeavor finally put an end to the high end Nomu, looking like a complete badass. He had some cool stuff between him and Hawks, and I don't know how much I felt about the whole thing with Todoroki, yelling out and being, very um, supportive of his dad. Like, wasn't he a complete asshole his whole life? I don't. I don't remember any parts in this story where he was really, forgiving and appreciative of him. Maybe I'm forgetting something, but that wasn't a big deal. We got to see Endeavor do this really cool move, and I was hoping I was hoping to see some damage from it. I'm not gonna lie, it looked badass. They threw in the whole plus ultra thing that My Hero Academia likes to do, but I wanted to see it that beam kind of be like if you've ever read or watched Hitman Reborn, Suna's ex burner, and you just see like from Endeavor's attack be like a giant melted hole in the side of a couple skyscrapers, something crazy like that. Like, but it's whatever. He looked badass, and he got to stand tall. Throwing up a fist, kind of like All Might, but with a different arm in that pose. Hopefully, next time he ends up saving the day like this, he has his own signature pose as the number one hero. I'm guessing he was like kind of on the spot, like, oh shit, I managed to push through against this villain, but I didn't think of what pose I was gonna do beforehand. I'll just kind of do something similar but different to All Might. You know, it seemed like one of those things that'd be really funny, like way down the line, like on a fun facts thing, like decades later in the series when people kind of like archive information on Endeavor, but where the chapter was pretty cool, showing All Might, watching Endeavor, looking on with the obvious worry of his number two that finally made it up to the number one, and seeing him in the new number two kind of get along a bit, at least combat wise, which is pretty neat. It ended on an area that people have been talking about for a while. Honestly, I won't lie. All right, let me get to it, and then I'll say what I was talking about, not lying about. Dobby shows up. I'm not calling him Dobby. I'm going with cremation because, from what I remember, Dobby is Japanese for creation, or at least means something similar. I can't call him Dobby because I think of the house elf every time. Cremation shows up, and it wasn't until a couple of months ago uh, someone started talking about the possibility of cremation being Endeavor's son. I know that's been online from what I've looked at for a while, but I never looked into it until recent. I never looked too deep into My Hero Academia theories, but this was one that was really kind of like hit you right in the head, and like if you didn't think of it before, like, oh shit, maybe. And then they have him like with the blue flames in the anime, and it's starting to kind of piece together of him potentially being either a clone of Endeavor, or maybe like a bastard, like reject son that he had, and he was so kind of messed up. He's like, shit, I don't want this. What I'm hoping they don't do is say like he's your twin brother we thought that died, Todoroki. I don't want that. I'd rather it be like uh maybe like a half brother. I actually kind of like the clone idea. I think that'd be kind of cool. But um, you know, with him showing up at the end, it looks like we're gonna get some really cool news, story progress, revelations later in the series, or in the next chapter that will affect a lot later in the series. I'm enjoying seeing more from Endeavor's kind of like area and plot story rather than just having Deku all the time. I thought this chapter um, started off pretty good, steadied out, got pretty good, and then it kind of like got real smooth, uh, and it didn't really get much exciting until the very last page. at least for me. Like after he kind of ended up shooting the big plus ultra prominence burn, I was like, all right, the highlight of the chapter. Now we're gonna, it's all cruise control from here. But honestly, the best part of the chapter definitely is cremation showing up and bringing forward the potential that all these theories around him being related to Endeavor definitely being the case, and not just being maybe he's a fan of Endeavor, or he looks up to him for having a similar power or something. It looks like it will be uh, somehow uh, directly related to Endeavor. If you've just from what I noticed is when they see him, Hawks has just the exclamation points, like he's like on alert, but Endeavor has the surprise, question mark exclamation point, like he's surprised to see him. It's definitely I feel silly now that it's just one of those ones that I feel real silly about, of him kind of having this in plain sight, you know, uh, uh, plot, kind of like Easter egg, eventual story piece of cremation being directly related to Endeavor like this. Like it looks like it will be one of those ones that I just, it was right there, but I never really noticed. That makes me feel silly, kind of like the stuff I was talking about with Estarossa. I don't want to go too much into detail about that, but if you've watched my video about it, then you know what I mean. But anyway, good chapter. It's a, I'm looking forward to the next one. I'm looking forward to the next one more than I was looking forward to the honestly, the whole Endeavor versus High End fight. This is about to get way more interesting, I think. Just because I like Cremation as a character, I like Endeavor as a character, and I want to see them where things go between how they're related. But otherwise, it's going to be it for this video. Thank you very much for listening. Maybe drop a comment below of your opinions of this, or what you thought with this chapter, or what you think about the whole Cremation Endeavor thing. And maybe check out my other videos. I do a lot of manga stuff, and I do some stuff with comics as well. But otherwise, I'd appreciate if you maybe give a subscription to my channel. And if you are already subscribed, make sure that you don't get unsubbed. I know YouTube has this weird thing where randomly they'll unsub you for some reason. If people have, that's happened to people on my channel, even on my small channel, and that's happened with me on bigger channels that I've been subbed to. But otherwise, thank you very much.